Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hunters of all ages and monsters of all stages, on behalf of 2K and Turtle Rock Studios, I'm DB Sinclair. I'm here with J Party and your boy Abe, the new Trapper. Ladies and gentlemen, hanging out in the studio with Abe today. We're also going to see him in-game as well, J Party. Pretty excited about that.
He's going to be our featured hunter for the day. A lot of first-person views of Abe today.
Yeah, lots of Abe, lots of Evolve, coming at you live from the 2K Live room. Let's kick off Game 1. Let's show these guys and the world, J Party, what Abe is all about.
Absolutely, DB, and we are just getting ready to start this game here as the last hunters and the monster are selecting the abilities they're going to use for the rest of this round here.
All right, nicely done by them. We're going to jump into a game of Evolve Hunt in the Fusion Plant. Looks like they're going to be going against Goliath, J Party.
Yeah, interesting. A lot of mixed hunters now. We're starting to get a lot of real variation coming in with these hunter teams as we're going to have Abe with a mix and matching of some of the previous hunter sets here.
And here we are with Goliath, starting off the feeding process, J Party, a little stage 1 baby Goliath. And he's off to the races. Not finding a lot of food right away.
Yeah, coming back to one of the classic maps here. Absolutely one of my favorite as we reveal some new content. We're going to also show you some of that old gun you know and how familiar with here. Heading down that Crowbill Alley, we'll see how strong of a start this Goliath gets. As I mentioned quite often, the first couple seconds of Evolve are so important. Getting that food down super fast is important as you're going to get that armor up. But it's equally as important to try to leave a poor trail. Try to confuse the hunters and get them not to follow you easily.
Yeah, nicely done by the monster so far. He's getting some food in that belly. It looks like he might pick up a movement speed perk there as well. But the hunter's right on his trail. You're seeing them led by Abe right now. That's that tracking dart gun. What Abe can do with that gun is he can shoot it into the wildlife, as you're seeing here. When he shoots it into the wildlife, and speaking of wildlife, J Party already having problems with the Venom Hounds there. But lucky enough, they kill the Venom Hound and pick up a perk. They're going to be poisoning the monster when they shoot him with that.
Yeah, this is such a cool perk there. It continues to do damage to the monster even after you've hit. It's particularly useful with guns that are hard to hit him with. It gives you some damage over time if you can't connect with every shot here. Talking a little bit back about Abe, we were mentioning earlier these tranquilizer dart guns. Such a cool way to track the monster. You see those small green little squares across the field? That's when he shoots a creature in the wild. If the monster ever eats one of those creatures, he himself will get tranked by that dart gun, and that's going to allow the hunters to track him down.
That's right, J Party. He can also shoot that directly into the Goliath and track him like that. What you're seeing now is the stasis grenade from Abe. Nice throw, but he gets sneak pounced. He's got the monster right on top of him. That stasis grenade doing no damage, so unfortunately it doesn't release him. Finally, a teammate comes up and shoots the monster to release him there. They do get the monster in the dome here, J Party.
Yeah, those stasis grenades, so cool though. They're going to stay in an area for an extended period of time. Whenever the monster crosses that zone, he's going to get those blue rings you see around him. That's going to greatly slow the monster, affect his movement, just make him feel clunkier as a player.
Yeah, between the trank gun from Val, the stasis grenades that you're seeing being thrown out now, you can keep the monster locked down really well, which they need to do right now. They need to get the armor down to start doing damage to his health.
And now looking at Abe's primary weapon here, this is the combat shotgun here. Such an effective tool and with two different ways to fire. If fired slowly with single shot, it's going to be a slug that delivers a high impact damage at a very precise range. But if you unload the whole clip together, it's going to be activated just like a real shotgun blast and have a short range spread for a lot of damage up close.
Yeah, I love it. The choice to make between slugs and that pepper shot. Looks like he's using that stasis grenade a lot more here now, trying to lock him down. They've got him tranked again. This is a great combination between Hank with his shield projector, Val on the medic with her beams of health there, and then finally you've got Hyde and Abe throwing down.
Yeah, good work from the team there. They managed to get some damage off on Goliath without taking any down penalties, and that's what you're looking for in a fight. Nothing but success from that as they remove the first bar of health from Goliath, but unfortunately for them, he's pretty much ready for that stage 2.
Yeah, he's moving along nicely though, J Party. This is a monster that's clearly played this map before as the Goliath. He knows where to run, he knows how to move, and he's doing that really well. Speaking of that, J Party, we have Josh on the monster, new monster player for the world to see. So let's see how he stands up against some of our previous monster players. And then finally on the hunters, we've got B Roundy on the assault character there. We got your boy Scott on the trapper. He's going to be throwing down on Abe today. Michelle's playing the medic, and the whole shoe on support.
Yeah, we'll see how Josh does on the monster. He's got some big shoes to fill, or I guess if you ever met Shaq, some tiny shoes to fill, as he is a little guy.
Oh, that is funny. He would like to think he's got big shoes on when he's playing as Goliath, right?
Yeah,
he tries to get in that role,
some
growls
clown
a little
shoes.
bit.
He likes to wear that.
Oh, nice one there. So we're seeing here Abe running through the fusion plant area here, backside. They're doing a pretty good job of keeping with the monster here. Lots of rain, though, J-Party. As we know from experience, rain's going to cut down on visibility and occasionally wash away those footprints.
Yeah, the dynamic weather coming in big for the monster here. During the early phases of the game, you definitely want this heavy rain, that fog, just blocked vision. Every little thing you can get to get a lead is just so important as the monster during these early phases where you're really on the run here.
Yeah, monster doing a great job of feeding, but the hunter's doing a great job of staying behind him. There's that tracking dart fired from long distance. Did he get him? They were able to ping the monster, and they did indeed, J-Party.
Wow, gets a mark on him. That was such a good shot. They're using that pistol like a sniper rifle. Absolutely great stuff here. Look at just throwing those grenades out, hoping the monster might just cross that area and slow him down. As I mentioned earlier, every second matters, particularly as the trapper, where you just need to get close enough to drop that arena and force the fight.
Yeah, you definitely become a huge part of that fight in the arena there when you are playing as a trapper. Any one of them, J-Party, plays a big role in trying to lock the monster down and keeping them contained. Another sneak pounce from the monster, though. This time it's on assault. They need to get in there and shoot the monster, but he's behind a rock. So far, so good, though. Personal shield popped, and a nice toxic grenade follow-up.
Yeah, lucky for that assault, he had the shield ready, and that was so important there as Goliath got all the way through the shield, so if that would have been his health, he would have been down there. However, he's still up in the crowbill, helping out, taking some pot shots on the monster. Those are some hard-hitting impacts, actually.
Yeah, that's tough. A lot of times as the monster, it's a good idea to try and aggro the crowbill because you can usually lead him back towards the hunters. In that case, it didn't work out for the monster as he's just getting annihilated as far as his armor goes from the crowbill and the hunters here. The hunters doing a great job. They kept Assault alive there with the shielding and the healing. Another sneak pounce, nicely done mid-combat, but Abe there with the shotgun to get him off of his teammate.
Yeah, that was an aggressive bounce there with the rest of the hunters actively watching. It's so important to do that. You saw how quick Abe switched to that shotgun, and you can't get caught up in using your support items. It's one of the nice balances. You don't want to get too sloppy using only damage items, but you need to be ready to pull out a damaging weapon just in case a monster goes for a pounce attack.
The monster locked down again by the stasis grenade. He's just dancing around right now, trying to outlast this mobile arena. So far, no down penalties on any of the hunters, and they don't have Lazarus in the fight. So he needs to make some more forward progress if he wants to fight the hunters and take them down.
Yeah, it took some damage in that fight. Another win for the Hunter squad as Goliath now drops just about to 3 missing bars of health, and that's getting rough. The only way to regain that health is going to be through evolving, or if he's very lucky, finding an elite tyrant. But I'm not sure he's going to spot one going back here into the swamps.
Yeah, there is a tyrant pool back there, but it is a dice roll whether or not you get that elite, and not always necessarily the place where you want to find out that you did not get an elite.
Absolutely.
Because it's a terrible place to get trapped. You do see him being tracked, though, by the trapper using that tracking pistol. Monster moving along. He's trying to sneak, but they see exactly where he is because they do have that tracking dart on him.
Yeah, that was unfortunate timing. He wasted a lot of time there trying to sneak into position, but the hunters knew exactly where he was. That is a little unfortunate as they catch him one more time here, but that arena not quite ready on the trapper.
Another nice trank by the medic. Medic being focused after that. But the team comes in to help. Nicely done by the team. The armor working with, or excuse me, the monster working with a little armor here. But that mobile arena is off of cooldown. It's going to get him in there, J-Party. And it's another nice trap by Abe.
Oh, this is a good catch for the hunters. They can really get some damage here. Only at half armor here. If they can really focus fire here, they'll be able to tear through that and get some more damage on this stage to Goliath.
Yeah, nicely done by this Abe player, Scott, to switch between his abilities and his weapons there. He's constantly keeping the monster tracked while switching back to the stasis grenade, keeping him locked down. But look right here, J-Party, a lot of the hunters on low health. They need some bursts from the medic, and down goes support.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough thing. Lucky for them, Val is up, and just like that, she's able to heal a body from such a long distance away. And with support using that shield gun on Val, they just have such a strong combo to keep hunters in this fight no matter what Goliath is doing.
J-Party, I would say that's rule number 1 is playing the medic when you're playing Val, is use that med gun from a distance to bring your teammates up, unless, of course, the monster is long gone. But if the monster is around, don't get on top of that body. Heal from a distance.
Yeah, it's crazy. Playing from the monster's perspective, you understand just how aggravating that is. Having to do with Val as she skirts around the outside of the battle, Just reviving players with that distance weapon is so effective in Evolve.
She's doing a great job keeping the heals on support there, and there is another Trank and another stasis grenade on the monster, just locking him down. Finally gets support down again, though, J Party. That's going to be 2 strikes on support.
Yeah, that's real unfortunate for support, as he's no longer going to have a down state. With 2 strikes, if you go down a 3rd time, you go straight to death and back on the dropship, and that's not what you want to see from your support class. So important for this team's strategy.
Speaking of down in death, J Party, there was a wild pack of Trapjaws chasing him there. I think they've been used to playing Maggie lately, so they saw the Trapjaw. They said, oh, hey, there's Daisy running along with us. No big deal. Watch out for those Trapjaw packs. They are a dangerous bunch.
Yeah, Trapjaws are definitely one of the hardest to deal with wildlife on the planet Sheer. They're incredibly strong and incredibly aggressive. They do a lot of damage and travel in a large pack. Even as a monster, they're worth very little food, and they'll do a lot of damage if they swarm you. So definitely want to avoid Trapjaws as both sides on the field.
Here they are over by the power relay area. Monster finally hitting stage 3. He's going to get some of that health back, J Party, and he's going to be a force to reckon with here. But if they can catch him now, oh, wow, what a dart from Abe. Nicely done. Let's see if they can get him in the mobile arena. They're going to have him with no armor, J Party.
Yeah, this is a good catch, but I think they actually still want to stay aggressive as hunters here. They don't want to fall back yet. Catching this stage 3 Goliath right at that cocoon is going to be so important. You see his health is already at half, and if he doesn't get any armor, they're going to be able to shred through a stage 3 Goliath.
I think the hunters were anticipating a fight from the monster, so they didn't throw the mobile arena. They let him run instead, and he's on the move again. He's going to be able to get some armor here if he keeps on the move, but the hunter's relentless, keeping him darted with the dart gun, and you're seeing the shots from that shotgun there by Abe, keeping him from eating on the food.
Yeah, this Trapper playing picture perfectly here, doing such a good job of staying ahead of the team and keeping track of the monster. It's nice to see someone performing well on our featured hunter of the day, as we're seeing a lot of the cool tools and what you should do as Abe. Those tracking darts worth the weight in gold so far, as they've had this monster marked since he's been stage 3.
So tracked right there, you see that red icon that lets you know where the monster is. Trapper Abe knew exactly where he was. He knew he was within range, so he can blindly, if you will, throw that mobile arena and have him trapped inside. Look at this, though, getting melted by the flamethrower as he's locked down with the stasis grenade.
Yeah, this is a great little arena they have here. Lots of ledges to hide on as hunters. Play with that elevation, but they need to watch out they don't fall into that pit right to the right of our Assault class here.
I want to point out some nice play from Assault here, doing a great job dancing around, doing damage on the monster. Popped his personal shield, so he should be okay. Actually, he was being shielded by support, so nice support shielding there. Assault down on really low health, but look, the beam team coming in for the rescue.
Yeah, the hunter's starting to get a little low here, but lucky for them, that armor is now gone. And this is a stage 3 Goliath, so all damage they get here is just so important. This is going to be truly permanent with no way to evolve any further.
I want to point out how the Trapper moved around to the left there, where the rest of his team was to the right. He anticipated the movement of the monster, was able to cut him off, get another dart in him, and they've got him right here at the edge of what was once the mobile arena, still locked down, able to continue doing damage.
Yeah, still getting damage as Goliath staying for the fight.
Big hit, though.
Yeah, he knows the hunters are low. He just needs a couple big AoEs, and just as I say that, the Assault does go down, and a major source of damage is suddenly lost on this team.
And down goes Trapper as well. That's a big hit from the monster. You see Assault back up, but with a down penalty, so the monster took advantage of having no damage being done to him with Assault down and took the Trapper down as well.
Yeah, just like that, though, they're back at full strength. Those down penalties starting to build, and ooh, support taking some hits, and with 2 strikes, he's going to go down real fast if left unprotected.
Support cloaked. He was on fire for a second, but the fire is out. Now he is invisible to the monster, so safe for the time being. And we're watching the Assault character here be round on Hyde, leading the way.
Yeah, that's so important. That cloak ability can be disrupted by the fire. A good monster is going to take a point in fire breath, knowing that there's a cloak on the team, just for the vision it grants. You can see people on fire. You can also see the footprints if using the smell and the little trail left by their jetpack, but you have to be very observant as a monster.
Ouch. That is another Venom Hound pounce. It's going to poison the Trapper here for a little bit and knock him on his behind. I guarantee Abe does not like being on his back, J Party.
That's right. Much like a turtle, it's his least favorite position. Lucky for him, he jumps up real fast, and they're hot on the trail with still a tracked monster. Doing such a good job here, I can't talk about how important it is to have vision of the monster. He's had no free time to just farm, as the hunters have been right on his trail this entire game.
And look, speaking of that, J Party, he's going after that Tyrant. Could be elite. Knocked back into the Tyrant pit is the Trapper. This could be a big move from, and look at that, it is an elite tyrant, J Party, and the trapper goes down again.
Oh, this fight's suddenly becoming so important with that perk sitting in the water. They need to watch out because it might eat someone, or if they're able to kill it, it might be the game-breaking perk.
Not enough to get the trapper up there, so the trapper is down. Trapper's waiting for the dropship.
Oh, so I noticed actually Goliath managed to kill the Tyrant, but he wasn't able to actually get through a single bite and get that perk. That's so unfortunate for him, but if he can drive the Hunters off, this is going to be a huge win. It's coming down to Val here. Oh, but they get the in cap. And where's the rest of the team? They need some help here, or with this medic down, it's going to be game over. All right, folks, win for the Monster with an epic last battle over that elite Tyrant.
Wow. Winner, winner. Josh eats the Hunters for dinner. Nicely done. You got to love the new Monster coming in and wrecking shop. And as before, J-Party, we're back here with Abe. I need to warn you guys at home, though. Abe is the strong, silent type, so he's not going to say much today. He's kind of here just to hang out with us as a celebrity. But we are stoked to have him on the show, stoked to reveal him to the world. And I do want to throw a shout-out to IGN. IGN First dropped Abe on you on Monday. And we get the pleasure of showing him off in-game here now.
Yeah, and stay tuned to IGN. They're going to be showing all the new Hunter content over the course of this month here.
Yeah, so doing a great job of rolling out these new Hunters, showing off the new Trapper Abe first. That content's going to be coming out all week like it did this week for the rest of the Hunters as well. We'll be talking a little bit more about that later in the show as far as what we're going to see next week. But yeah, here with Abe today, this guy is just a straight badass, J-Party.
Yeah.
I mean, look at... he's sitting here through all this conversation. He's not even cracking a smile.
No, not even a blink, really.
No,
impressive,
stone cold killer, just keeping a straight face for the entire show. I guarantee you, we couldn't break him, J-Party.
No, absolutely not. Although we did get a little broken on that last round as the Hunters did go down there, but still great play by Abe. They were hoping to see some more good stuff up in this next game. Yeah,
that was nicely done by the Monster. So I think the turn-in events there was when he saw the team kind of on their heels. A lot of the team was low on health, and he went and decided to go back in, and he focused Assault down first. So like you mentioned while they were playing, you're taking away that primary damage dealer, and Hyde is a big-time damage dealer. If you can get him down, you really don't need to worry about who's smacking on you. You can really focus down on the rest of the team, which he did. Took down the Trapper and then went on.
And that was my one big criticism for the last game is the Hunter squad. They just never had a strong focus of damage. From the Assault and the support as well, they needed that barrage, and they weren't able to lock down the Goliath long enough to really get that damage off. It just allowed the fights to go on too long, and he just wore down the Hunters. Val just couldn't do enough healing to keep everyone standing in that last game.
Yeah, so Abe, do you have a comment on that last game? Oh, no. See, guys, he really just wants to hang out, watch our team play Evolve, maybe jump in there, hunt a little monster. And I don't blame him. I mean, he's here to play.
Absolutely. Hoping to hear some more fun facts about Abe a little later, guys, as we are just getting this next game ready here soon. The Hunters are deciding they needed a little huddle after that last one to rethink their strategies here. It felt like it was going pretty well for them. They got the early damage. They didn't suffer any down penalties up until stage 3 there, but then it just all collapsed on them in that last fight over the water in that Tyrant pit. Yep,
so with that said, J-Party, it looks like we're going to have the same Hunters on the same rolls. B-Round's going to throw down on Assault. Again, I'm excited to see who he goes with. Scott is going to be playing Abe again this round. Michelle's going to be playing Medic, and I'll see who she goes with as well. I'm excited to see if we get a Lazarus in the mix. And then finally, we have the whole shoe on support. That's going to be obviously another important role to fill there, and see who he picks as well. We're just getting things dialed in here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and throw that Abe picture back up on the screen, that first one there. Let's go ahead and show what the people, what Abe looks like. Just a straight badass space cowboy, shotgun toting, stasis grenade throwing, yeehaw, wearing a cap, hunting the monster.
Yeah, I love that shotgun. Having such an aggressive weapon on the Trapper is fun, as the first Trapper's had a little SMG, which is always nice to hear the little putter-putter of that, but a real blast to the face from the shotgun, very satisfying to use, as he's such an aggressive Trapper. Just needs to get up in the monster's face, get those stasis grenades out, get those tracking darts on, and just get the monster trapped, as is his primary role. All right, folks. Hey, we're just getting things set up back here. Give us a couple minutes here as we're going to just talk a little bit longer here about some Abe nuances that you can use there. As we mentioned earlier, those grenades stay on the ground for quite a substantial amount of time, so those stasis grenades can be easily thrown across the map, looking for times to just catch the monster by a little bit and just slow him down a little bit. As we mentioned earlier, all the seconds matter when getting that arena up. I can't believe how many fights we've seen go the other way as the monster just slips out by a sliver to the edge of that arena and dodges. Coming down with that is such a good skill to learn as you learn how to cut off the monster and be smart with your positioning.
Yeah, Abe's definitely a great trapper for that. I'm loving the dart. The dart, it's so good. And the fact, and we haven't seen it used yet to where we've seen the monster munch on that wildlife yet. What we've seen so far is Abe using the dart to just physically track the monster by shooting the monster. But as you pointed out earlier in the match, you can shoot wildlife. That's a reason for the hunters to leave the wildlife alive. So when you're playing as Abe, if you're shooting the wildlife with those tracking darts, make sure you communicate to your team, hey guys, I'm darting these wildlife. Don't kill them. We want the monster to eat them. Your teammates will see those tracked wildlife as well. And they should probably pick that up on their own as well.
Yeah, it's such a cool ability. It allows you to get some global map presence without actually having a tool to get there. Those darts are going to last for an incredibly long amount of time, so as you're moving quickly, mark them, move, and now you've got that area locked down from the monster.
That's right, Jay Party. So we're about to jump into game 2, just hanging out here with Abe. I mean, he's really just, built like a Greek god, and just his stature and his pose today. He's just, you're not going to move him, Jay Party.
Yeah, I asked to hold a shotgun. He said no, unfortunately, for his hands only.
Yeah.
I'll have to go find my own.
I asked to wear his hat. He said, put on the beanie punk and walk away. So that's what I'm rolling with today, Jay Party.
Yeah.
Yeah, hashtag bounty hunter. That's what he wanted to go with. I think that's his primary association in life is that he is a bounty hunter first and foremost, and just kind of kicks around and hunts monsters on the side,
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to make money somehow, and it turns out paying to hunt the giant monsters of the universe is a profitable venture. Yeah. So that's what he's done with his life here. As we were talking with him a little earlier, he wanted that off camera for his interview, though.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to move away from Abe here because he's just kind of starting to freak me out. And we're going to jump into game 2. Let's kick it onto the Trapper. And he's going to go ahead and start picking his perks here, Jay Party. What we're seeing today is obviously more than we've shown in the past in the live streams as we introduce these new hunters. You're also seeing a lot of the perk selections unlocked at an advanced level there. Really interesting part of the game, not just on the monster when he's picking his abilities and spending those points, but what the hunters do with their perk selection, because that can make a big difference in the game.
Yeah, I hope some folks got to actually play during the alpha last weekend, and you're a little more familiar with the perks, with the feel of the game, as we see a lot of perks as an option that's going to greatly affect how your hunter performs in the game here. This team really decided to mix it up here. Looks like they kept Val as a medic, but they went with the other assault class, Markov, and they're going to go with Bucket on support, one of the more aggressive support classes.
And apparently the whole shoe has not played Bucket yet, so he is actually watching that tutorial video right now, which is why you guys are on the loading screen. Interesting Abe tip just popped up there, and this is big. We've seen this in the past with Bucket and his UAV. When the mobile arena goes down, we encourage people to use that UAV and to start tracking the monster immediately, so you can keep on him as that mobile arena is off. What this recommended was to tracking dart the monster as that mobile arena is coming down, or as it just came down, so that you can have visibility of him again after the mobile arena is down. It's a great tip.
Yeah, absolutely. As you play more and you get really familiar with the hunter you choose, you start to just feel the ebb and flow of the character. It's all about the cycling of your abilities, going between all the tools you have and using them when they're up and they're ready in the optimal situation. All right, folks, we are just getting into game 2, and the monster also decided to mix it up a bit, going with the Kraken, and he is going on a large start here, flying right across the screen, but then switching to a little stealth as he's hoping to lose them in the forest. And of course, as I say that, I have the Caster's Curse, and he decides to just get up and run.
Caster's Curse, Jay Party. I love it. And speaking of that, he is running, he's startling birds, he's just doing everything he can to let the hunters know where he is.
Absolutely.
Maybe he's feeling a little hunter's killer remorse from that last round, Jay Party, because we do have Josh again here on the monster.
Yeah, he did a great job there. Actually not looking too strong in those fights, taking some early damage, but it didn't matter for him. He was able to get the momentum in a later fight and take down the Hunters. So definitely feeling strong going into this match here. He might not care if the Hunters catch him. He knows he'll be able to fly away and escape these fights relatively unscathed.
Lots of food to eat back here. Hunters struggling to keep up, trying to use their jetpacks to get up the rock wall here. Not really sure where he is. It was enough, Jay Party. It looks like the sneaking he did to lose them out of the gate. They should be able to find him soon. I did see startled birds there, so they should have an idea of the direction he's in. But right now, they are dazed and confused on the planet Sheer.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised he was able to juke him like that. There was very little walking he did there or sneaking there, but apparently it was just enough. He did it around that turn, and they got lost at the fork in the rock road there. I like what the Hunters are doing here. They're splitting up a little bit as they take different trails to the startled birds here.
It's a great place to go back behind and then come back around in the back of the map like he's doing there. The Hunters have to make a big decision. Do they go all the way around the factory, or do they go through and try to cut him off? Looks like the UAV from Bucket, though, is doing the work for them. He is sneaking, though, Jay Party, so he's not showing up.
And that is unfortunate. You can't lock onto a monster while he is sneaking, but he does have the mark. The rest of the team does see the UAV symbol on their map, so they know exactly where he is. Oh, but once again, that pounce attack, they knew he was there. Where's the rest of the team? They need to shoot him off.
He can't ping the map, though, or ping the screen, Jay Party, when he is using that UAV, so he can definitely let his teammates know where they are. Definitely needs to do that when he's UAVing and can't get a lock on the monster.
And once again, they find the monster here at stage 1, and this is what they're going to need here, is they can hopefully get a lot of damage off with that stage 1 monster. He does have full armor, but it's not going to last very long.
All right, nicely done by the Kraken to hit the lightning strike on Val. Val is down. They have no heals now. Assault on the side there. It looks like support's trying to go in and help. Let's see what's going on here, Jay Party.
Yeah, Soul doing some breakdancing in the corner of the screen there. We'll see what he's doing. As the rest of the team is struggling to really get some damage off on this Kraken, who, as of now, has been able to freely fly around the edge of this map.
And we've got the arena, they've got the Trank on him, and they've got the stasis grenade. So doing a pretty good job of locking him down here. They need to get that armor down, and they're close to getting the armor all the way down and starting to work on the health.
Yeah, this is the situation they need to be in. They already took 1 down penalty in this fight. Hopefully they get some permanent damage on the monster, as if they let him get away now, it's going to be a big win for this Kraken.
Nicely done by Abe to just keep throwing those stasis grenades up in the air. Doing a pretty good job of getting him down. As you can see there, he falls to the ground, but he does some pretty good damage himself.
Yeah, and this fight looking interesting. I'm surprised the Kraken stayed there. He really had a strong win, but he took some extra hits at the end there that kind of pushed the fight in the Hunter's favor. He can't go toe-to-toe with the rest of the squad, so he's decided to finally back off and hopefully get some food. But just like that, Abe has the monster marked, and they know exactly where he's retreating to.
Jay Party, I feel like Abe had a pastime of maybe throwing the old baseball around. The way he throws those stasis grenades, the form, the power he has behind it. I feel like he played some old-timey baseball, maybe before they got to the planet Sheer. Maybe even on the planet Sheer.
Yeah, absolutely. A failed baseball playing career. His actual old last name used to be Ruth, old Abe Ruth. Unfortunately for him, didn't happen. He had to change it and decided to take up bounty hunting, and doing a great job so far.
Speaking of bounty hunting, a pack of trap jaws hunting the monster here. They want to eat the meat that the monster killed there, and they're just surrounding all of that wildlife.
Yeah, and these are so annoying. It's almost impossible to eat with those around you here. As the monster kind of going for a crazy build here. Ignores the Aftershock altogether, but gets Lightning Strike, Banshee Mines, and the Vortex here. Going for all the distance attacks. He wants to keep the Hunters at bay and not let anyone get close to him.
Good for the Hunters, though, so far. They've got him in the mobile arena. They're knocking him down with the stasis grenades, and he has no armor. They're working on his health. And you see Markov, a great fight against the Kraken with that lightning gun.
Yeah, I actually really like Markov, and particularly I also really like Bucket against the Kraken. It's because their damage is not reliant on being accurate, and shooting a Kraken while he zips around in the air is so difficult. Rely on the AI targeting from these machines to do the damage, and that's what's so strong. Doing a good job here. This catch was so important. Catching that monster right out of a cocoon is going to have no armor, and they're able to get damage directly to him. But I like what the Kraken's doing here, hiding up in the trees. That is where he thrives. He just wants to juke and dodge and mitigate a lot of this damage. Unfortunately, it's allowing Val to heal the team cleanly from very far away, and the monster's not going to be able to get any Hunters down if he just keeps pelting people that Val is healing. This range build, very effective, but he's just in a bad spot here. He's doing a good job of just trying to knock Hunter's back. Really doing a great job here. We'll see if you can catch up to him. Support, you see, climbing to the top of this hill here, and he's going to be trying to get aggressive turrets up to get some damage on this monster. All right, and this monster down to half health, but look at that, still trapped. We were talking about Abe doing this earlier. Those tracking darts are just relentless here. There's nowhere to hide. If he's being tracked like this, it's going to allow the hunters to catch up to him immediately in this match. Oh, and there we go, marked him with a tranquilizer. He's now marked and shranked here, going so slow and with clean vision. There's really nowhere he's going to hide. Back in the swamp area, it can be hard too. There's only 2 real exits of this area. I don't know if anyone's played this during the alpha, but this area is very dangerous. It's easy for the hunters to catch up and trap the monster when you're hiding back here in the swamps.
Yeah, especially if he's messing here like he is right now. Jay Party getting caught up in the stasis grenades, getting hit by the trank gun. That mobile arena is going to be off cooldown here in a moment. It looks like he may be trying to get out of here. I don't know. He's pressing the fight, low on health.
Yeah, so I didn't actually see that there. While we were looking at Abe being aggressive, the monster was actually targeting Val in the back of the fight. And he manages to get Val taken down and then kill her in this exchange. And that's going to be really rough for the hunters, who now have no way to maintain in this fight.
Down goes the Salt. We are down to the Trapper and Support. This is a tough fight for the hunters.
This is a tough fight. Bucket's going to be coming big here. He's such a strong character when fighting solo. One of the most powerful hunters, actually, as he can deploy those turrets and give himself protection and DPS while focusing on hiding and mitigating a lot of his damage with that cloak ability.
The Trapper doing a great job on the gameplay here. As you can see, he's getting some rewards for his efforts. And this is what you were talking about, Jay Party. The self-cloak, that group cloak that the support has, he's able to get out of here. Right now, he's telling his Trapper, take down the mobile arena, let me out of here. I need to get away from the Kraken.
I know, this is such a close fight here. Looks like the Trapper is caught. He needs to just juke the other way there. Oh, and the monster realizes it. He realizes how important support is. If he can kill the support before the cloak comes back up, he's almost guaranteed to win, as the Trapper has very few tools to really hide from the monster.
And he gets the J Party, a nicely placed lightning strike, hits the support there. Nice throw from the Trapper again with the stasis grenade. He's locking the monster down, but the monster is working on support.
Now this is an interesting time. We have 30 seconds until the dropship, and although the Trapper has no way to hide from the monster, he is moving quickly in the opposite direction. So as a monster, you need to really think about this. Is he going to go all in on the Trapper and not get armor, not get his health back up, and not evolve? But he has a chance to win the game outright. Or he could run away, focus on eating, get staged up, and allow the hunters to be redeployed and back at full strength.
So what you're seeing here, J Party, is the Trapper sticking around this area where he sees that some mines are deployed. This is the safest place it can be. The monster tries and pounces him here. He can try and get in that mine and have the damage knock the monster off of him. Now, though, he's seen that dropship coming in. He's going to try and get closer to his teammates so they can go in full force and hunt this monster.
Yeah, I like what he's doing. Already moving back towards the center of the map. Wants to get a nice elevated position to try to get some eyes on this monster. They're finally being deployed safely. They don't have a risk of losing outright here, but now they need to focus on getting back on the offensive. They're back deployed. Val needs to heal this Trapper back to full strength. They need to hopefully cut this monster off before we can get to that final stage 3.
Yeah, the monster low on health, though. Working on armor right now, but really low on health. Let's see what the hunters do in retaliation.
Yeah, they don't have any eyes on him yet, just that startled birds. However, you have to make note that startled birds are where the monster crossed, not necessarily where he still is. Oh, yeah, he's right on top of them. He's going back in on this fight, and I'm surprised.
Yeah, trying to go right at the medic there. The medic on 2 strikes. It is a great target to go after, especially without Hank on support. She's not going to be shielded. But he hits and moves, J Party. I think he's trying to do more work from farther away, which is a really good choice at this point for the Kraken.
That is the build. He took all of the ranged attacks, none of the close range AoE, super reliant on high DPS attacks on single targets here. Luckily, he caught them off guard, and Bucket didn't have a full sentry deployment up, and that's what's so important. That's where a lot of the damage is going to come from on this team.
Yeah, the problem for the monster, though, is he keeps getting caught up in those stasis grenades. It is a great fight against the Kraken. As you see, the stasis grenade is going to lock him up there. Look at those throws by the Trapper, bringing him all the way down to the ground. What they need to start start doing is planning that around some mines and some sentry gun deployments, and they will just melt this monster. He tries to go for the sneak pounce there, Jay Party, but he misses.
Yeah, Assault is such an important player in this fight right now, and this lightning strike's going to knock him out. Oh, he dodges it.
Great
such
juke by
a good
Assault.
thing. His damage is so important. If he can get another mine or two up, this fight might be won, as the damage from Bucket is going to force the monster away. I believe soon he might not be able to finish off the Assault class.
Yeah, nicely done by Assault. He got him down to 2 bars of health. The rest of the team coming in. Turrets up from the support there. As you can see, he's laying them down.
Oh.
They don't get Assault up, and support gets right out of the way just in time.
Oh, and his cloak is almost up and ready. They could pull this off, but it's a rough situation.
Oh,
to be
no.
in. Oh, no. Banshee Mines catch up to him. He's not looking behind him, and unfortunately, the light damage from the Banshee Mine is enough to take him down. And just like that, they're down to their last hunter, the Trapper here, and he's not going to have enough steam.
Winner, winner. Hunter dinner. Josh just having a feast and a field day today.
Yeah, not holding anything back here. Really wants to win this. I do think it's funny when we invite random staff from the building to play each week in the Evolve live stream, and people get real nervous. You really don't want to lose. We say, we'll be watching you, so be scared. And he is definitely trying his hardest here.
I do want to point out, though, that I've asked him a bunch of times if he's nervous, and he said absolutely not. He was here to play today, and he's been bringing it so far. So an image up on the screen right now, Jay Party, is the Goliath versus Abe and our support character that we're going to be talking about next week. But you're seeing him locked down by those stasis grenades there. That was a huge moment or key play to that last game on the Hunter side, just to stay in the game and be in it for as long as they were, was those stasis grenades. Abe was doing a great job throwing the grenades and bringing the Kraken down to the ground. Another great tool to fight against the Kraken.
Yeah, they can be difficult to land on the flying Kraken, but they're so important.
Yeah.
It's hard to really understand as a viewer necessarily how much that affects your play, but when you are the Goliath, when you are the Kraken, you get hit by those, it just throws off all your timings, all your area of effect moves. You just don't target or move correctly, and it's definitely one of the keys to winning the fight. Yeah,
Jay Party, while we were talking about him, Abe here, I did think that I saw him crack a smile for a second. So those of you at home, search the archive, see if you can see him smiling. It may have happened. I could be totally wrong. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. I like this guy a lot, so I'm glad he's here with us today on the show. Again, another shout-out to IGN. They are rolling out the new Hunters for the next 4 weeks. They started with Abe this week, and we have the pleasure of showing him off here on the show. Also, a new map or two maybe coming the way of public viewing pretty soon, so that's pretty exciting. And we're about to kick off Game 3, Jay Party. We have had a monster change, though. These Hunters, tired of getting beat up and battered around, they're going to throw the whole shoe on the monster. I don't know if that's going to help them much, but my heart is with them. I hope they do well in this round. We're going to jump here into Game 3. We got Abe on the Trapper and the rest of the team in support, throwing down Evolve. Let's do this.
All right, folks, and you just saw the end there of him selecting the perk that he wants there. Looks like he went with that health regen perk. I think one of the stronger perks there, especially with Lazarus in this game. We're going to see a new medic. Without the ability to heal with Val, it's so important to keep yourself topped off with that health regen perk.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be good, Jay Party. I'm excited for this match. A couple old schoolers in there along with Lazarus. A very facial hair-oriented team. Except for Markov. Markov's got that clean-shaven thing going on.
Yeah, surprisingly clean-shaven there. It is interesting. Perhaps he just lacks the ability to grow hair, as there is no hair on his face whatsoever, except for those eyebrows.
Maybe there is actually hair growing under the cyborg robotic eye socket, Jay Party, and that's why he wears that thing. He's got a weird eye hair thing going on.
Yes. Perhaps indeed. We'll have to ask him when he is on the show as a special guest, hopefully soon there.
Right.
But for now, though, we are going to focus on this Game 3 as Goliath, and with Holeshoe on the sticks here, one of the highest skill players we have in the house here. We'll have to see how the Hunters fare against him, as he's getting nothing but a smorgasbord of eats so far in this match, and already halfway to Stage 2.
Yeah, so much good eats. He's on his way, doing a great job of working his way around the map, and finding food, but sneaking. And what he's going to do there is not let the hunters know where he is, except if he startles birds like he just did.
There we go. They know exactly where he crossed. But as I mentioned a couple seconds ago, it's not necessarily where the monster still is. It's where he crossed at some point. So you have to do your best to decide which direction you went in. Oh, and there he goes. Startles another set of birds. Now they know exactly which way he's going as he's quickly approaching one of the only exits from the swamp area. Talked about it a little bit earlier. The swamp's going to be a hard section of the map. There's only 3 real exits, and it's easy for the hunters to spread out and get those all locked down.
All right. Where are we at, Jay Party?
Well,
oh, look at that.
Looks like they just spotted
right
the monster.
Yeah,
and this arena is definitely going up. This monster is going to be stuck fighting this. He's got full armor, but he is stage 1 here. I'm surprised he's playing it so nervous so far, as he's actually got a pretty strong start here. Even at stage 1, full armor is going to give you quite a lot of time to fight those hunters for free.
I'm going to turn my mic on so I can actually talk to you, Jay Party. They do have him in the dome here doing a great job. He is with full armor, full health. He could definitely take the fight to them right now. He just needs to look out for those mines. He does have that flame breath. You might have mentioned this already, but he does have that flame breath, which is a great utility against mines. It's definitely worth taking every time if you're fighting against Markov as Goliath.
Yeah, one of the big utility moves is you get good at using it. You're going to see if it's many tools, and he gets the assault on a pounce there. But the personal shield knocks him off and brings Assault with him, so now he's still at that melee range he needs to be at. They're actually doing a great job in this fight.
Yeah, taking the armor down slowly but surely, placing mines in some great positions, up high, down low. When you're the monster and you're in this situation, you're trying to run around, and you can see there's mines on every surface, Jay Party.
I like that. Monsters love to just bounce around and climb up and down the environment to just kind of disorient the hunters, force them to change perspectives. But with mines and all that, that's going to be huge impacts, particularly with this low HP, low armor stage 1 monster. Look at that. Trapped again. Abe been doing such a good job all day of giving the hunters the tools they need to succeed here, keeping those trank darts on the monster. Or not, excuse me, not trank darts, but tracker darts. They will not actually slow the monster, but they will reveal exactly where he is. As he goes down there with the tyrant, gets a little scared, but marks him and runs away.
Yeah. Nice mark and run. I love it. Definitely shaking in his cowboy boots there as he's on the move. And we're here with Hank. I feel like Hank and Abe are probably pretty good friends. What do you think, Jay Party?
Absolutely. They both kind of have that country bumpkin kind of look to them. They get along well, and I particularly think Hank is such a strong support, but with Lazarus here, I wonder if they're best friends because the utility of having those two on a team is so effective. The ability to bounce between 2 cloaks and make a healer invulnerable that can revive you from death. It makes the team so hard to break as a monster.
Monster spotted again here. You're seeing the stasis grenades go out. Here's going to be another mobile arena. He's going to be in there and trapped. Does a great job of dodging the rock there, but the monster trying to take the hard ground, playing King of the Hill. See how the hunters counter.
Yeah, climbing up on another mountain, just see if you can get some vision of him. That trank dart did wear off, unfortunately, so they do not have true sight, and that's what they're really going to want to get in this fight so that he can't duck and dodge around the edge of this rock wall.
Oh, nice charge by the Goliath. Looks like he's focusing on support now. The entire time, though, he's being pelted by the lightning gun of Markov. Wants to get out of there. Probably a good choice right now.
Yeah, support definitely one of the key targets on this team. It's a little unusual for them for that to be a primary goal, but if you can get through that support, it's going to stop the shielding of Lazarus and allow him to actually get to the medic. The Hunter's doing such a good job here, though, getting through the armor and now getting that all-precious damage to this Goliath's health.
Yeah, what you're seeing here, Jay Party, is full utility usage on the monster who's trying to get around the corner. He's not able to. He's stuck there now. They're doing great damage. They're getting those stasis grenades on him, locking him down. They're getting those weak spots painted on him from Lazarus' silent sniper rifle, and then finally getting all of that lightning damage on him from Markov.
Yeah, and the medic gets a little bit isolated here. This can be dangerous as his cloak is not quite ready here. It's still on recharge. They need to get as much damage off as they can. The assault is going to be such an important player here.
Yep, just straight up focusing medic, as you said. It takes medic down. They're trying to make the monster pay now for camping the body. He's going in, just trying to get Lazarus down. Lazarus is the key to victory. Looks like he's not going to do it, though, Jay Party. They're going to get Lazarus back up. Big rock throw hits, though. And that hit support down, but Lazarus is able to get him up. That could be the difference maker in this game, Jay Party, that little sliver of health on Lazarus.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. That rock was not enough. I saw what he was trying to do there. He wanted to juke him, make him think he was leaving, and then go for a long-range knockback, but it's not enough. And with Laz back on this fight, the team is at absolutely full strength here as our support class is back on the move, as we see here.
Yeah, nicely done. He did get Lazarus in-capped, though, so Lazarus does have a strike to his health, but the rest of the team team, as you mentioned, running at full health. Let's see if they can get him in another trap. That was a great fight for the Hunters.
That was Goliath looking a little bit off there. He just never got a good advantage in that fight. He manages to get the Hunters down, but he can't finish off the match. And now, under 3 bars of health, he's in a terrible position. Needs to get that next stage up.
On the move here by the crash ship. Working his way past that Tyrant pool back there. It might be a good opportunity to find that elite Tyrant as he tries to throw a big rock behind him.
Yeah, we'll see what Wildlife is over here, though. I don't see the Tyrant at all yet. It's not guaranteed to spawn, and it's not guaranteed to be elite. And it looks like in this case, he gets neither. Oh, no, there it is. He finally gets eyes on it, and I think he's going to want to try to fight around this area. I will say, as a newer monster, just fight near a Tyrant and watch as the entire Hunter Squad loses to the Wildlife as you just sit there and enjoy a cup of tea.
Nice rock on Assault. He gets him to pop his personal shield immediately. Support tries to come in, but he also gets a rock in the face, followed up by some big-time fire. He pops his cloak, but he's still visible. Down goes the tree, and down goes Support.
Oh, that was such a big misplay by the support there. He went in really aggressive when he shouldn't have. The support is actually probably the most important player on this team because it allows you to make Lazarus invulnerable, and it makes the monster not want to target him. But unfortunately for them, they immediately lose that support class.
Another nice rock throw, this time to the face of Abe. He said, Abe, if you could throw baseballs, I could throw rocks, baby. There's some nice mines, though. I like this around the body of Support. It's going to keep the monster away from him. But the monster right now focusing on Assault and the medic, trying to focus Lazarus down again. The Assault doing a great job of keeping that aggro, though.
Yeah, the monster saw the medic and thought he could just focus on him and win this match, but he forgot about the fact that you can res your teammates even without Lazarus as the Assault gets Support back into this match.
Medic down again. The monster not going to leave the body alone this time as they try and go in and get the res. The monster trying to throw a rock. He gets the rock there, and Medic is not up yet. Medic is dead.
And that's so unfortunate. It forces Trapper off the body, but that was the right decision there to leave the res alone as they're actually handily winning this fight even without a medic. They just need to focus on damaging the Goliath, and they can definitely finish him off.
Nice cloak by Support there to keep his team in and out of visibility. This is a big fight for the Hunters here, trying to finish off the monster. They've got him just under a bar of health, and that's it. A win for the Hunters. Scott yelling to his team to continue to ravage the corpse of the Goliath there at the end of that fight. Big time win for the Hunters there, Jay Party.
Yeah, absolutely some close calls there. I loved what the Goliath was doing there, looking like he's falling back from the body, letting the Hunters group up, and then throwing those rocks from a distance. A very solid strategy when people group up on those corpses there, but it's not enough, and he runs out of steam at the end.
Yeah, nicely done by the Hunters. Great trapping of the monster. There was a couple key points in that game, and that was the first time Lazarus went down. He left him with a sliver of health. If he was able to finish off Lazarus then, that would have been a way tougher fight for the Hunters, but instead they have Lazarus and they are able to take the fight to the monster.
Yeah, we saw a lot in that game, a certain situation you get in Evolve where you're starting to actually get momentum as a monster in a fight. You feel like you can tell Hunters are falling, but your health bar is just getting too low, and you have to make that game time decision if you're going to run or jump back into the fight there, and you know you're never sure you made the right choice until the game's over there, and unfortunately for Goliath, he goes down.
Good play by Abe there. I want to give him compliments and stuff while he's on the stream. You know, I want him to know that we like him. Buddy. But he's a really cold dude. He's just here to hunt.
Yeah.
So tough conversation with him. But we can talk, Jay Party. We'll just talk around him. You know
absolutely.
what I mean?
Here, he's not going to interrupt you, and that's what I also enjoy in a nice guest.
That is true. While he's not very. Convincing with his responses. He's not trying to start a conversation with you. At the same time, he's not interrupting your conversation either. So you're allowed to talk about the game and things going on in the world of Sheer.
Absolutely, DB. Good to hear. And folks at home, we are just getting into this next game here as we're going in our final fourth game here. And the Whole Shoe sticking to Monster here as he's going to want some revenge from that game.
Definitely wants some revenge. Whole Shoe is always out for revenge after a L. I wanted to just point out for those of you viewing, Evolve is going to be a game that you can play February 10th, 2015. So what we're showing here on these live streams is a game in development. So we do appreciate you sitting with us through our technical hiccups and so on and so forth. But so far, so good. Showing off Evolve, Abe. Man, this is exciting, Jay Party. I want to see what happens in this final fight of the day. Oh, sorry, Abe. I'll kick it off to the next game.
Bunch a little bit
yeah, sorry about that. We are going to kick it off to Game 4, Whole Shoe on the Monster. And these guys are sticking true to their hunter positions, J Party. I like that. We got B Roundy on assault. Great job last game. Scott just flawless as the trapper right now. And Michelle going on medic. Looks like she's going to go with Val. Nice choice. And we're going to have the rest of the beam team there, J Party.
Yeah, I was going to say, bringing up the beam team here.
Yeah, with Josh on support. So nicely done, everybody. Thanks for watching. Continue to watch for this game 4.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you after the game about some upcoming stuff regarding Evolve.
Absolutely. I know I'm excited. All right, folks, and we are just getting to the final perk selection here. The monster taking his sweet time, wants to make sure he gets the right abilities here, as that last game did not quite go his way. That sentence didn't quite go my way either.
I don't blame him, J Party. That was a tough fight for the monster. He's going to be looking to bring the revenge and bring the carnage to the team here. So we're looking like we're going to be seeing another Kraken Abe matchup. So as we saw in the previous Kraken match, Abe was doing a great job of using that stasis grenade to bring the Kraken down to their level.
And that is the big challenge to overcome against Kraken, is bringing him to the ground. He's much weaker on the ground than any of the other monsters, and he doesn't possess a lot of strong melee AoE abilities. He's very reliant on that Aftershock, which we saw him completely ignore in the last Kraken match, but we'll see what happens here. Starting with the Lightning Strike and Banshee Mines at Stage 1. A very popular build here, only second to maybe the Vortex Lightning Strike build at Stage 1 here. This gives you a lot of utility to take down wildlife. Look at that, he finds a pack of Reavers already dead.
Yeah, like we like to say, J Party, there's nothing better than a free meat than a free meat. I'm having a hard time talking too, J Party. This is a Friday on a very busy week for both of us.
This has been crazy.
Making video games.
Yeah, as you know at home, we are just producers on the project. This is not our full-time job here. We just thought, hey, we'd talk about some video games if you'd let us, and they did. Can't even believe it, so we're here. And it's been exciting so far as they catch an elite Crowbill off the start. Such a strong perk for the Hunters to get a Stage 1 here. This makes an early catch on the monster almost a game over, with everyone getting that 35% damage bonus.
Yeah, there they go. They pick up increased damage output. It looks like the whole team picked it up. The whole team with the damage bonus versus the whole shoe with no damage bonus.
No perk here.
Let's see how this goes.
I like what the Hunters are doing here. They're completely mining the body with Markov there. If the monster tries to get that perk, he's going to take a ton of huge hits there, as they're going to try to wait for that body to hopefully degrade quick enough so that there's no perk for the monster.
I think they want you to say big-time damage, J Party, on the stream.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see if he walks over there. Then I think I'll yell it. But for now, the monster's staying safe with very little damage being done to him.
Yeah, and you know, he's doing a great job. He's working up that armor. He's got full health, and he's ready to evolve. So sitting pretty right now. This could be a fight that goes in his favor.
Yeah, we've been watching the Hunters a lot. We're finally going over to the Kraken, who's been sneaking almost this entire match, and it's paid off. The Hunters are not even close to catching him here. Even with that damage perk, they haven't seen him yet. With that alarm, though, they're going to hear the scream of that cocoon, and this is such a big time as the Hunters. You need to close in on that location and get this monster trapped before he gets that armor.
And there he is, Stage 2. Went with Banshee Mines, J Party.
Yeah, more Banshee Mines, ignoring that Aftershock. We saw this build earlier. Again, people don't like that melee clear attack. They want to just stay safe in the air. What he's saying is he knows he's better than these Hunters, and he'll be able to mitigate that damage by staying in the air. But just as I say that, he gets tranked, and then immediately he's slowed by those stasis grenades, and he's stuck on the ground here with no armor at Stage 2.
Yeah, nicely done by the Hunters. They get him in the dome here. This is a fight the Hunters want to have. They've got that damage bonus. They've got him in the dome. He's got no armor. Big time orbital barrage coming down. Not sure that did any damage, but it was a good idea.
Yeah, forced him back. It allowed him to not close in on them directly, as he has to circle back around that ship here. And you know everything is golden when you caught a monster with no armor, as they already get through a bar and a half of health.
And look at the places where he's putting those stasis grenades, throwing them up on top, anticipating where the monster's going to go. Monster completely locked down right now between Tranks and the stasis grenades. Another nice toss by Abe.
Yeah, having such a hard time here. He just can't quite break away from the Hunters as another track goes down, and that's what they need here. There's no way for him to escape the vision of this team with the Tranquilizer, with the Trapper, and with those stasis grenades.
Yep, nicely done by these guys to try and do the damage they need to do early on. Here comes a lightning strike. It's going to hit big on Abe, but the rest of the team doing great with the healing and shielding, keeping the Trapper alive.
Yeah, with the beam team, no one's dead until they're out of the match completely. You see that green beam of healing and the blue beam of shielding, keeping people immediately at full health again. And it's just so strong and so aggravating to play against the monster, as he's already at half health at Stage 2 here with no forward progress.
Nice lightning strike to hit support who was trailing there. Didn't get him down, though, J Party, so he's on the run now. He's going to try and get some armor and start this process over again. Looking pretty battered and bruised.
Yeah, not a good fight so far. He got caught there and got made no headway in that fight. The Hunter's looking real strong here. Val, just about as every Hunter back at full strength and with no down penalties. They're looking great in this match.
He's sneaking around here. He's not tracked at the moment and not tranked almost for the first time in the game. So he is able to actually sneak around, which is going to work in his favor right now. It's going to buy him some time to potentially eat some wildlife. That's a nice sneak pounce on the wildlife there. It's a very clean and effective way to take the wildlife down without having to chase them, getting that meat in your belly.
And I like seeing the whole shoe remain patient. When you're down like this and your health is getting low, you start to freak out. You go as quick as you can. You're just scared of death. But he doesn't care. He's taking a real slow, having a real methodical sense of play here. Just wants to stay hidden and not let the Hunters catch up to him.
Lots of 3 meats in the belly. He's still got a ways to go, though, for stage 3. Halfway to stage 3 on the Evolve meter.
Yeah, but he's doing such a good job here. I have my map hacks. As an observer, I know exactly where the Hunters are, and they're not quite there yet. Oh, but they do find one of the most important perks against the Kraken. Bullets slow the monster down. If you've ever played the Kraken and had to fight a Hunter squad with this perk, it is not fun.
Yeah, that could be devastating for the Kraken. Oh, there it goes.
Lucky for them, he's 360 yards away, but look at that. He eats one of the food marked by our trapper, Abe, long ago, and that gives him good vision. Look at that. Exact use of this ability. 350 meters out, and they're able to catch up to him.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before. We didn't see a lot of it. We saw the direct tracking darts fired into the monster, but this is the case that what J Party just explained is where the Abe there shoots a dart into the wildlife. The monster actually eats it sometime later in the game, and now he's tracked for the team.
And that is too bad. He absolutely did a flawless job of sneaking around. The Hunters went the complete opposite direction and were on the farthest corner of the map from him. And just like that, they swing right across the map. They know exactly where he is, and they're going to be able to catch him here. But lucky for him, he's got some armor at this stage 2, and I think he's going to be ready for a fight by the time they catch him.
Nice shots by Abe, just trying to get the monster tracked, and he does. Just firing from the hip. From a long distance there. Monster tracked. Let's see what the rest of the team here does. I'd like to see him get him in another dome, J Party. This will be a really good fight.
Yeah, the team needs to work on catching up to him. The Trapper doing such a good job using all his tools to give eyes for the team. It looks like he's going to use this lightning strike that's going to slow him down enough. We'll see if Abe can get ahead of him, as he doesn't have a lot of map to maneuver through. He's quickly approaching the wall of this arena.
Yeah, the monster just continuously tracked and continuously stateside there as the Hunters are on his trail. They see him right here. They've got damage on him now. They're starting to work on that armor. They do have a long way to go to get that armor off of the Kraken.
Oh man, and that vortex strike making the Trapper a little scared there, but it's not enough to get any damage off him, and they have the Kraken trapped in another arena. Just bring the pain here. They have a lot of armor to tear through.
Yeah, nicely done to do damage. A nice sneak pounce, though. Someone needs to shoot him, and look at that. It's the Orbital Raj J Party coming in, doing big-time damage on the monster.
Yeah, they get a lot of torn through there. His armor dropping very fast in that fight here, but he's still got a little bit to work with as the team is focusing on getting that damage off.
So much damage to the monster, J Party. I think it damaged the computer a little bit.
Yeah. Knocked the Assault completely out of the game with that impact there. He's trying to jump back in, but as we discussed earlier in the stream, the AI takeover is going to happen real quick here, and Assault is right in this game, getting the damage they need.
Yeah, nicely done by the team here. They got him right where they want him. They're taking that armor down, which is exactly what they wanted to do. They want to start doing forward progress on the health bar. They've got him in the dome here. They've got him tracked. Here comes another stasis grenade. He gets knocked back a little bit by that vortex blast, but look at that. Just like that, the monster is out. Let's see what he does here.
And that timing, almost like clockwork there. Just as they get through the armor, the arena comes down, and they're not able to get any real forward progress on the monster. They need to take every pot shot they can here as Kraken decides to fall back and look to regroup for the next encounter.
Laying those Banshee mines down as he retreats is a good move. It keeps the Hunters on their toes and dealing with those screaming mines while you move on in the opposite direction. But still tracked by the tracking pistol there, and some nice stasis grenades being thrown as well.
Yeah, look at Trapper here on the move here, trying to get ahead of the team. He knows where the track is. He's cutting right through the center of the map here. And that's such an important advanced tactic as you pick up on the game. You realize you don't need to veer very far from the center trails of the map. The monster at some point is going to have to cross and use this area as a way to monitor all the other edges.
Monster ready to go to stage 3. see what he's picking here. He goes 3 Vortex, puts 1 into Aftershock. He's going to have that utility to be able to use. And they're trying to get the Orbital Barrage on him, but there was some overhang on the cliff side there in the way, and they're not able to do it.
Oh, that was such an unfortunate situation. Our support class feeling crushed here as he's not able to get that huge damage off on a Cocoon. I've seen a lot of games end from what looked like a great position as the monster from 1 barrage on a Cocoon. And look at that. Here's that stage 1 Aftershock, mostly used as a deterrent. That's not going to do a lot of damage, but it's going to make hunters use that jetpack boost to dodge out of the way, even though they're not actually dodging any real damage. And then that allows them to use the lightning strike for the big impact without any dodge left on the hunter jetpack.
Some nice shielding coming in on the medic from support, but medic is finally focused down. Here comes the lightning strike. Oh, and another hunter goes down. That's support.
Oh, and you got to watch out. They're stacking up on those bodies when they saw Val go down, and that's such a strategy you need to look out for, as the monsters are going to be ready for that. They want hunters grouping up exactly like they're doing here. It's going to make easy pickings for those moves like lightning strike to just wreak havoc on the team.
Support rezzed by assault, but the medic is down and out waiting for the dropship.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. With Val out of this game, there's just no sustain for this team. With a monster only 3 bars of health down, they're going to be hard-pressed to have the damage they need before Kraken can take them all out of this fight.
Nicely done.
Sneaking up on Abe there. Didn't even see him coming. Gets a couple good pot shots off before Abe was able to jetpack dodge out of the way. Ooh, and he's able to mitigate a lot of that damage by just dodging away from the Kraken. Just missing a lot of attacks using the double tap of your jump button to activate a jetpack dodge. Ooh, that barrage is exactly what they needed to deter the monster a bit. It chases him off, but it's not enough for the support as he does go down. They're quickly losing hunters in this fight.
Support was able to cloak. You see the Trapper coming in on top of that body. He's able to get him up before the Aftershock comes in. Nicely done.
And that's that group cloak being used while support is down. It's important to note that a lot of the class abilities can be used from an in-cap state. That includes the Assault Shield as well as the group cloak on the support class.
Trapper doing a great job of keeping the monster distracted, but support needed to leave as well, and he didn't. And that's a win for the monster. Whole Shoe redeems himself. Nicely done by the Whole Shoe. Wow, Jay Party. Some exciting matches today. And just bringing another element that's completely different and that nobody has seen yet. Bringing that to the table is just so exciting.
Yeah.
We got to do that with Abe today.
Yeah, it's nice to talk about some of the new content. I'm happy to finally get to show the viewers out there the new stuff, as I've been so excited to get it out there in the open, get that information out there. We saw from Abe, he had a little mixed of a performance there, as the monster did get the upside on the team a couple times there. But showing some of the cool tools and the cool new strategies that he's going to bring to Evolve.
Yeah, nicely done by our A player, Scott. I think if the fans want, and he's okay with it, we'll bring him back to maybe show off some of the other hunters that we're going to be showing off in the next few weeks. Speaking of that, Jay Party, and no offense to you, Abe, standing here with us in the stream now, but we're going to be showing off a different hunter next week. That's right, Jay Party. We're going to be showing off Cabot. He is our newest support character, and we're going to be bringing him on the live stream next week for you to see some live and direct gameplay. We'll probably get Scott on the sticks and see what he has to do with Cabot.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm excited to see Cabot. Support is my class. I absolutely prefer it. I play it every match here, and he has got some cool tricks. I'm excited to show you guys at home.
Before that, though, IGN First is going to be debuting a whole slew of information on Cabot. So stay tuned starting next Monday. Stay tuned to IGN. Watch IGN First. Check out the debut of Cabot. You're going to learn what he's all about. Follow throughout the week. You're going to see all sorts of cool stuff on Cabot. And then follow us up on the Friday, and we're going to be dropping Cabot gameplay. It's going to be great. And you're going to be out of here, Abe, and you're not going to be just standing here all stone cold and not wanting to talk to us.
We're open for some full interviews with Cabot here, as I hope he's a more, reactionary player.
Yeah, he does have more of a, outgoing personality, I've heard. So I'm excited to have him on the show. That said, ladies and gentlemen, please send in your questions to Evolve Livestream at 2K.com or ask them on the Twitter. That's Evolve Game on both Twitter and Facebook. Ask your questions about Cabot, the support class, and we're going to go ahead and try to answer those questions on the stream. If we answer your question on the stream, we will then send you a swag pack. Jay Party, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, those were exhausting games here. definitely hard for the hunters, who I think learned a couple lessons about not grouping up on those bodies.
Yeah.
As an unfortunate outcome in a lot of those games.
Yeah, nicely done by both sides, though. I do want to thank them personally for playing. Shout out to Turtle Rock Studios and the rest of the gang here at 2K. I'm DB Sinclair. That's J Party, and we are out. We will see you next week, world.
Have a good night, folks, and thanks for watching.